Yo, what's up, guys? This is Why Not Be Reckless, aka Why Not Be Casting. I'm one of the HCS commentators, analysts, and grassroots content creators, and we have another HCS report for it. Today, we're going to be talking all about Space Station Gaming pulling a bit of an unorthodox move and going across the pond to find their fort. Guys, it's official. A legend previously of Quadrant is joining Space Station Gaming as their fourth member, replacing Dead Zone, formerly going as Penguin. Space Station Gaming, arguably a top 3 organization here in North America, and probably some will say top 2, and maybe others even say number 1 as far as organization, as far as teams, did lose a massive piece in Dead Zone, who ended up over towards that Optic Gaming roster. And lots of times with them losing an important piece like that, you would think that no matter who you replace that player with, there should be some type of dip. And an unprecedented move by Space Station Gaming going with Legend as their fort, you can arguably say that there's no dip coming in here. Obviously, you have a much different play style and player coming in, but the young Legend is super talented, and maybe SSG have made themselves stronger in a way to compete with that star-studded FaZe roster, because I promise you, Legend is a superstar in the league. Also, we got to talk about Space Station Gaming, obviously making history here. You know, we've seen it so far with, tapping buttons over in Latin America being brought in to North America to compete at first under Evil Geniuses and then under Native White. We also saw the same thing in another region in Australia where we saw G2 poach over Barcode and eventually him find himself over towards that Native Gaming roster as well. But to my knowledge, we've never seen a top European player poached from that region brought into North America, and especially to compete on a top 3 team. Now, some of you guys may not know too much about Legend because most of your knowledge comes over from North America, and we haven't gotten to see Quadrant as much as some of the other big dogs like Optic, SSG, and FaZe, but I will say Quadrant didn't have one hell of a year in year 2. Still, why don't we talk a little bit about what Quadrant and specifically Legend have been able to do, and I'm going to go over towards this championship bracket semifinals, winners bracket semifinals, where Space Station Gaming did pull off the 3-0 against Quadrant. I think this is really relevant. You're talking about the team that ultimately Legend is going to end up going to, and ultimately the team that blew out your previous roster, 170 kills to 142. You got out assisted, you even barely got out damaged, but you did end up losing 3-0. But again, even in matches where the team gets blown out, although Quadrant are an amazing team, I don't want to take anything away from Sika or SOG or Chick. I think SOG is a phenomenal IGO, and I love actually talking to him and picking his brain about just talking about the macro of Halo, because he can go on for days, and I'm right there with him. He's a really great dude to talk to, and Sika with his skill set, actually longtime teammate of a Legend, probably the first time we've seen them split up since probably like Halo 5, to be honest with you, and then Chick, who let's not forget the crazy plays of season 1. I think it was a power play of the year from season 1. Chick was absolutely on one, but there was always one player that kind of stood a little bit above the rest, and that would be Legend. In my opinion, Legend is and what always was the best player in Europe, even though there was a lot of competition out there. Let's go into his performance in this matchup, where again SSG did pull off the 3-0. 43 kills, so already the leading Slayer, 25 assists to go along with it, and almost 14,000 damage, actually second most in the entire lobby, only second to Bound, who is gonna be his future teammate here. Gotta love that come out of Legend. Again, ultimately a losing effort, but still, even in a losing effort, you see Legend kind of shine, at least in the Slays department, where if SSG are gonna compete with the likes of FaZe, they're probably going to need help in that direction. I think everybody is going to need help because FaZe literally are a slaying machine. It's one thing the Legend does really well. On top of that, I want to talk about the objective time, because I always talk about how slays are important, but if you're out there doing everything for your team, a little bit of everything, where you're secondary in slays, or in this case, primary in slays, and still doing well in the objective time, that really shines to me. You know, I think of players like Snakebite, who are do-it-all players and so valuable to their team, especially when it comes to SSG. You can come in with firepower, but you have to be objective efficient if you're going to fit within their system. Well, Legend, pretty objective efficient here, as you see in King of the Hill, 51% of the points. So literally doing over half of the objective time for his team. Again, in a losing effort, I know, but still, leading Slayer, leader in assist, leader in damage, and over 50% of the objective time in King of the Hill. Let's also go down to Strongholds. We have 56 seconds worth of Strongholds time. Again, the most on his team. And when I think of who's going to be able to match Bound as far as speed-wise, I think of Legend. One of the reasons why Legend ends up having a lot of this hill time, a lot of this Strongholds time, is not because I think he's like the greatest objective player in the world, but I just think he's just first there. Like, he's just has great instincts, and he's not afraid to play fast and trust those instincts, which I think is going to be really good when you pair that alongside Bound. These two flying around the map with each other seems pretty scary to me. All through Season 2, Quadrant were absolutely obliterating the competition. I mean, we talk about how them being the greatest Strongholds team in the league. We talked about what they were able to do, matching up so well against Optic Gaming, really being a thorn in their side. We've talked about them playing phase well when giving so many teams a tough time. There was a reason why this team were top 6 in almost every tournament, even getting as far as top 3 during the Arlington Major. It's largely because this man is a legend in the making, and excited to see what he does in North America. Excited to see what this man's going to be doing under Space Station Gaming. All right, guys, that's your HCS report. Let me know down below what you think of this signing, SSG going with Legend, and really kind of rounding out at least the top half of Rosetermania. We now know what all of these teams are going to look like, and in one of my next videos, you're going to see a power ranking, and let's try to rank some of this madness and see what we should be expecting going into year 3. All right, guys, I'll see you later. Peace out.